Hello there, and welcome to another album review of The Shield on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by Machine Head. And that album is called Of Kingdom and Crown. And it's the band's follow up to 2018's Catharsis. That let me just say that that album was not liked by critics, fans alike. I really didn't like that one at all. I would like compare listening to Catharsis to like having a kidney stone and trying to pass it through your body. It's that painful. So they're back 4 years later with the new album of Kingdom and Crown, and you can ask yourself: Is this a new Catharsis or is this a Blackening 2.0? And the answer is neither of those. This album is not as bad as some other reviewers that have claimed, and also is not like the 10 out of 10 that some other um, pages in the internet have claimed to be. To me, it's in the middle. So the album is a concept album, and it's about a futuristic, like dystopian society, and it has two main characters. There's Ares and Eros, and I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, I fully grasp the story like so much because that would be a fucking lie. Uh, I listened to the songs and I listened to the album uh, on repeat today so I could do the review. It's a 59-minute long album, so I listened to it like 4 times to 5 times. I had listened to some of the singles, so there were some that I already listened to more than once. That the album, it has some good points, some solid tracks, and it also has some tracks that are so-so. So let me talk a little bit more about that. I think Rob Flynn uh, and company, they're talented musicians. He has new musicians for this album. It's a new band. I think the band members that he had after Catharsis just got up and go because that album was so bad. So this album obviously is not Catharsis. It's not as bad as that one, which is one of Machine Head's worst album. So on this album, with the concept and the themes, it's an album that I don't think you need to know the concept to enjoy the songs. It has 13 songs, but out of those 13 songs, there's three interludes, which are Overdose, Assimilate, and Terminus. And those like songs that are not songs are meant to like pass the story of the two main characters. Are they needed to enjoy the album? No. If you delete them, I think it wouldn't matter at all to the album, or it wouldn't hurt the story because they're like instrumentals with some sounds. Nothing that I thought was innovative. But the album started strongly for me with the song Slaughter the Martyr, which is like a 10-minute song. And that song starts slowly and then has some great riffing, more thrash metal type of riffing. So that song kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Blackening era of Machine Head. Not as good as the Blackening, but promising. Then they went into one of the other songs that I think they released as a single, which is "Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate," and that's a great song. It just have some great delivery to it. I like the chorus on that one. I think Rob Flynn singing on it is pretty cool and pretty great. There's some great guitar riffing on it, and it's a shorter song, like a 4.5 minute. And then they go into Become the Firestorm, and this song really reminded me of Trivium. And there's another song in the that really reminds me of them, like especially in the way they did some guitar leads on the song. Really reminded me of that band, which I thought was interesting. And that's another great song. So out of the get go, the three starting songs are really solid. So I was like having a good time. And then we get to Overdose and we get to like a second part of the album, and that's where it dips a little bit. Because then it has My Hands Are Empty, and that to me is the weakest track of the whole album. It starts with a lot of like, oh, and Basically, it's saying my hands are empty a lot. And I watched Rob Flynn interview, and he was saying that he wanted to base the whole album around this song. And I was like, really? That's one of the songs that I would delete from the album. That one was, yeah. It has some good riffing in some part of the song, but overall, with the OOs and the, just saying my hands are empty, I thought it was a weak track, one of the weakest on the album. Then they had like another like power type of ballad, Hallowed, but that one was better. Uh, I think that one had a catchy chorus, and I like the Rob's clean singing on that song and some of the guitar riffs. So I thought that was better than My Hands Are Empty by a lot, but not as great as the three opening tracks. Then they have the other like segue with Assimilate, and then they go into four tracks that are interesting musically, but are lacking in creativity in the lyrics. And that's another low point of the album. Some of the lyrics here are just predictable and not very creative. Kill Thy Enemies, No Gods, No Masters, Bloodshot, and Rotten. Those are the four songs. Kill Thy Enemies musically has a part where there was a great solo on it and some like very good riffing on it, but it's all about like you kill thy enemies, and there's a part where he says something about white privilege, and there's like more woes in some part of the song, and then he's like saying in a lyric that only love can save you. Ah, so pretty, love. So that was kind of cheesy, but not a terrible song, but also not a great song. No gods, no masters. It repeats a lot. It goes no gods, no masters, repeating a lot. So it's very simple song, effective. I think in a live setting it would be fun, like chanting no gods, no masters. But again, nothing lyrically that you would say that it was inventive or like wow, like this story is blowing my mind. Then Bloodshot, I thought was pretty cringy, and especially when they shout out the Bloodshot, like it's entertaining, but yeah, I thought the riff there was very repetitive as well, so not as memorable as some of the other tracks. Rotten, it's a song that I liked and I disliked in some parts. The riffing on it was great, but the chorus where it's like rotten to the core, it's like did a third grader write these lyrics? Because like I could tell a mile away, it's like I'm rotten to the core. It's like, oh my god, really? That's the best he could come up with. But some good riffing, but again, not as much like creativity on the lyrics in this part. So I think in that part it was good musically, but the lyrics not so much. Then you have another terminus that goes into the last track, which is arrows inwards from the sky, and that's a great closer. I really enjoyed that song, and that song again reminded me of Trivium for some reason. It has like some of the riffing and the singing really reminded me of like some of the Trivium's albums, like the In Waves. So overall, this album is a mixed bag. It's not terrible. It's not a classic like The Blackening, but it goes. It's in the middle of the road. I think I enjoyed it on subsequent listens a little bit more, but I could find the parts that I thought were lacking a little bit. But by no means it's an album that I would say is like the worst album that they put out or worst album of the year. It's worth your time to listen to it and have your own conclusions. So at the end of the day, it's a middle of the road album to me with some solid points and maybe some lyrics that could have been better. So, comment, what did you think of New Machine Head album of Kingdom and Crown? Did you like it? You didn't like it? Comment, what were your favorite tracks? And also let me know, did you like the concept of this album? So, don't forget to give me a like if you like the videos I'm putting out. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm a YouTuber. I have to say this shit. And until next time, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.